It's confirmed $3.5 billion more going out from Social Security each month. I have all the details for you here in the video and exactly what this means. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. First off, can I ask a huge favor of you? Please make sure to like the video with the big thumbs up button right down below. Also, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe as well. Again, with the big subscribe button down below. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support, and let's get into it and talk about it. All right, now as of recently, we did get a bunch of announcements out of Social Security, and I want to share with you the differences of this because this is actually interesting and possibly a little bit problemsome for the Social Security program, the beneficiaries, and of course the trust fund as well, because we've got $3.5 billion more going out to beneficiaries every single month as a result of some of these announcements from Social Security, but yet are they bringing in the extra income to actually account for this? Which, by the way, $3.5 billion a month translates into, guess what? $42 billion more a year going right into the pockets of the beneficiaries. Not bad, right? I mean, we think of it that way, $42 billion more a year. That's nuts. I don't know. To me, that sounds like a lot of extra money going out, which is super nice for the beneficiaries. But at the end of the day, remember this much as well. It's spread across about 70 million people. It's actually more than 70 million, well more than that, but just call it 70 million for easy purposes here. It's spread across all of that. So let me share with you the details behind this and what this actually means and why this may be a little bit of a concern going forward. Again, like I said, for the finances and the trust fund of Social Security. More on that in just a second. All right, so coming back to the announcements, which is the COLA, the 2.5% COLA, which we would look at and think it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's going to translate into virtually no dollars. You're right. It's not that much on a per beneficiary basis. However, get this, the average Social Security retirement beneficiary, which is, again, by the way, the bulk of Social Security beneficiaries, they're getting on average about $48 more per month, and that's every month for the entire year of 2025. Obviously, you know that. The average SSDI beneficiary is getting about $35 a month, okay? But when you take all this into consideration, 70 million plus people getting on average these dollar amounts I shared with you, comes out to about $3.5 billion a month more going out to these beneficiaries just as a result of the COLA in 2025. That's it. $3.5 billion as a result of a 2.5% COLA. Isn't that nuts? So just imagine if it would have been called, say, a 5% COLA doubled. Let's just say the COLA was doubled at 5%, okay? That'd be putting the monthly output of Social Security at about $7 billion a month. That's a lot of extra money going out. That'd be, what is that, $84 billion for the entire year if they would have had a, say, simple 5% COLA. It's a lot of extra money going out. But anyway, here's the concern that's out there and behind all this, okay? So like I said, $3.5 billion a month, you might be thinking, that's not that much. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. I'm not sure about you, but I happen to think $3.5 billion is a lot of money. I'd be super happy with that. I mean, if they're not happy with it, I'll take it. I mean, seriously, right? Send it my way. I'll be glad to take that money. But anyway, my point is, obviously, it's not going to happen. Just joking around, okay? But my point is, $3.5 billion for the per month is $42 billion for the entire year. But here's the problem. Are there really that many more people out there in the workforce or earning that much more money that are actually going to be paying that much more payroll taxes, accounting for the extra $42 billion going out of the Social Security Trust Fund to make up the deficit? The answer is no, not really, okay? It might be accounted for a little bit because of wage increases and people earning a little bit more money because, you know, at the beginning of each year, sometimes employers are maybe a little bit generous and say, we'll give you a 2% raise, we'll give you 3%, we'll give you whatever it happens to be. So in some instances, yes, people might be making a little bit more money, and as a result, remember, the rake comes in, as in Social Security payroll taxes, and they tax, the earnings of those people that are out there, which is the current workforce of about 186 million people across the country are currently in the workforce of the United States. So if incomes go up a little bit, that means a little bit more money being taxed, and that means a little bit more money coming in. However, the problem is, it's not going to be the $42 billion that they need to fill in the gap because of the COLA that is going out to beneficiaries. Do you kind of see what I'm saying here? So as a result, they're likely going to have an even bigger deficit going forward. So what I mean by that is, remember, right now, and which has been happening for a little while now, which is more money is going out of Social Security every single year than what's actually coming in through Social Security payroll taxes, taxation of benefits, and interest on the money for the trust fund, okay? In total, they bring in about $1.3-ish trillion, give or take a little bit. About $1.3 trillion a year is how much Social Security brings in through their three main sources of income. Again, payroll taxes, that accounts for about $1.2 trillion, by the way. The vast majority of the income is from payroll taxes. And the other roughly $100 billion or so, again, give or take a little bit, comes in from taxation of benefits. That's about $55 to $57 billion. And then interest on the trust fund is about 42-ish billion or so, give or take, okay? So that's where the rest of that comes in. That's where they get all their money, those three main sources. But the problem is they're paying out more than that out in the form of benefits, in the form of benefit checks to beneficiaries. So therefore, they're drawing down the trust fund a little bit. In fact, in last year, so about a year ago, right, they actually drew the trust fund down by $41 billion because less money coming in through the source of income and more expenses, as in payments to beneficiaries going out. Therefore, they drew a deficit of $41 billion. But that's okay because they have a trust fund that they're leaning back on, which has about 2.78 or so, give or take a little bit. Again, it's changing all the time. About $2.78 trillion sitting in it. So they can certainly sustain a little bit of a deficit. That's not a problem. But the deal is, this may lead to insolvency possibly faster because now they're drawing down the trust fund faster. Does that kind of make sense? Now, here's another thing as well, and I want to point this out. Sometimes, again, I want to make this very clear. I'm not necessarily a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I like to think of it and just be like, what if, right? It makes me sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It does make me wonder sometimes if maybe the small COLAs that we get are a little bit on purpose just because they know that, hey, if we give you a 5% COLA, that's going to draw down the trust fund even faster at a tune of, say, $7 billion a month or about $84 billion a year, like the example I gave you earlier, simply because if we give a 5% COLA, now we're paying out significantly more. It actually brings the insolvency date sooner. And again, it just causes more problems, right? But if we tame the COLA down to say 2.5%, now we're paying out $3.5 billion a month or about $42 billion a year. That's a little bit more sustainable, right? It gives them more of a runway. So again, I don't think that's the case. I don't really think that they're manipulating the numbers like that. But you just never know. I don't know. It just makes me wonder. It makes me think a little bit like, hey, but what if, right? What if this were actually happening in an effort to shore up and possibly keep the trust fund solvent for a few more years? I don't know. Remember this much as well. The COLAs are permanent. Every single year that you get a COLA, it's permanent and it's compounded. Every single year that goes by and you get a COLA, it's 2.5% plus the previous 3.2% plus the previous 8.7% plus the previous 5.9% plus the previous 1.3%. It's all of these compounded. So technically, every year that goes by that a COLA is added, your benefit technically gets a little bit bigger above and beyond the COLA because it's compounded on your new higher benefit. Does that kind of make sense, right? So these last handful of years here, where we've actually gotten some very nice, generous benefit increases because of the COLA, the 5.9, the 8.7, the 3.2, the 2.5, when we add it all up, we're probably sitting around, I don't know what it is comes out to right now, probably around, 20-ish%, I would guess, probably right around that 20% range is where that all adds up to be. That's a pretty nice increase in benefits just in the last, call it 4 years or so. And as a result of that, each of these raises has compounded upon one another, making it bigger and bigger and bigger, your benefit. Make sense? But again, I totally recognize benefits are significantly way too low for most people. I totally understand that. I'm definitely not trying to minimize the small benefits that are out there. Anyway, does this help you out a little bit? I hope so. If not, again, please leave me your feedback down below in the comments section. Otherwise, let me know what I can do for you. I'm here for you. I want to bring you this information. I feel like it is your ability, what's the word I'm trying to say? Your right. It's your right, okay? It's your right to know this information because at the end of the day, it is your money. Social Security is being the steward of your money. It's your money. They got it from you through Social Security payroll taxes. Gotcha. And now they're trying to give it back to you very, very, very slowly through benefit payments. Basically, hopefully for the rest of your life, okay? My point is, they are being the steward of your money. Why do you care about this? Well, it's your money. If they all of a sudden become insolvent on the trust fund, now it's your money again gone. and it's your money that's going to be impacted as a result of your monthly benefit check. So anyway, I feel like it's your right to know this information, and this information is out there. So I hope this helps you. Again, please like the video down below, thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel as well. Again, big subscribe button down below. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Check out the other 5,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library. Check out the popular videos that I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. Check those out. Otherwise, right now showing up on your screen as well, you'll see a video there. Check out those. Thanks again. Just enjoy your day. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you, and catch you again later.